What's up guys, welcome to Wasted Space, and it's time for the results of the Planets competition. So thank you very much for everybody who took part, everybody who voted. It's been a really interesting process. There's been tons and tons of very cool creations that I haven't had a chance to spotlight them all, and there's a number that I would have spotlighted had I had a bit more time and may still do in the future. And also, of course, all the support, the comments, all the interest that people have put forward. Really appreciate all of that. Now it's time for the important part, so who it is that wins those 2 grand prizes and who it is that gets the 4 subcategory prizes. So if you remember, at the beginning there were going to be 4 subcategory prizes as well, in the categories of aesthetic, functionality, best concept and then best use of scripting. However, this has changed a little bit because having been through all 100 or so entries I got, it was a little bit over 100, not a single person actually wrote their own script for the competition, which is kind of fine, but it means that prize is a little bit moot because there's no one really to use it. Plenty of people use scripts, but it wasn't stuff they made themselves, and so it wasn't really what the point of that was all about. So what we're going to do with that instead is I'm kind of just going to throw an extra bonus prize in for someone who made something that didn't necessarily work perfectly, but was a really oddball, out there design. So we're going to call that kind of almost the oddball prize. So first up, we're going to have a look at the modded and the non-modded, the grand prize winners, the ones you guys voted for. And kicking off with the modded one, I was slightly surprised by the graphic you can see on the screen here. There was just under 350 people voted, so thank you very much for that. But as you can see, I kind of expected the MG01B Banshee Metals very cool tracked vehicle to have this one in the bag, but apparently my guessing skills need some work because you guys did not go for that, and instead have gone for the very cool Rock Crawler by Bacon Terminator. So congratulations sir, it was indeed a very cool vehicle and in fact inspired me to get working on something very similar to that on the stream the other night. So congratulations, I've hit you up in your email address with your voucher, and make sure you send me some pictures of whatever it is you end up getting created. Moving on to the non-modded, I was a little bit surprised with this one again because as I've mentioned before, RAVRIC's DAWNSTAR train is very cool, and when I saw that it was part of the Planets competition, I thought, well, how on earth is anyone going to be beating that? However, as you saw from my first spotlight, Lord Wraith had a damn good shot at that, and not only a damn good shot, but enough to come out a little bit in the lead. It's not quite such a distinct victory as the Rock Crawler was, but I think that just reflects how good RAVRIC's DAWNSTAR train is, and how much variety and interest there was in this competition. So, congratulations sir. Once again, in your mail is the coupon code, and you can please send me an idea of what it is you're going to use that for, and some pictures of it when you do finally get it back from Space Engineers Prints, because that would be very cool. Next up, we've got the 4 subcategories, and these are the ones that I'm picking myself in those 4 categories I mentioned earlier. So we're going to kick off with the category of best concept. So my thinking behind this was something that didn't necessarily function perfectly, but showed some really cool thinking regarding what would be useful on a planet and what was going to be a bit different to what potentially everyone else was thinking of. And while what I've selected is not necessarily hugely unique, the application of it and how it all functioned I thought was very cool, and all packed up in a really nice tight little package. A few of you guys mentioned this on the previous video as well where I showed it briefly, but Elsa's Geridai, or the Water Strider. While I haven't done a spotlight on it, you'll see in the clips in the background, it's just a cool little thing. It does not function perfectly, there's a few issues and they mostly come from how quickly sensors react more than anything else. But it is a very fun little thing, and I thought as a little concept, a transport vehicle for on planets, that was pretty perfect. Now looking on the category of functionality, there were some really strong contenders for this. A lot of you guys made stuff that just worked really well. Things like the Trailblazer, things like RAVRIC's DAWNSTAR, which took all the punishment I threw at it and some. Didn't mind about natural gravity, didn't mind about any of that stuff. But the one that I felt kind of demonstrated proper engineering in my mind, in that it took non-original ideas but put them together in a way that was really handy, and in this case kind of based on real life concepts, which I really enjoy when that works and kind of fits into Space Engineers. So if you haven't already guessed, the one I'm going to pick is Map Place Simulations AVLB, the bridge layer. I thought potentially it was going to actually win something in the grand prize competition because it was really simply done, but in such a way that it was super easy to use and really did solve a potential problem when you're on planets. You know, I've played a bit in a survival planetary scenario now, little fake one, and I can tell you holes in the ground are a problem, so a bridge layer makes a lot of sense. Next up we got the aesthetic category, and again there was a lot of very strong contenders and notable mentions like JKL's Recon Buggy, which just looks the business, and the Corvette R16 Premiere by Eddie. Both of those look really cool. But as far as what came out on top, especially given that he didn't win a grand prize, I'm going to have to go for the tracked mobile base by Banshee Metal. That thing looks the business. It might not be the most friendly on your frames per second because of the volume of mods used, but it wouldn't be what it is without those mods. It is such a cool little ship. Every view from within it looks the business. I'm going to have to pick that. And then finally we get onto the oddball category, and I call it that for a reason. Some of you guys are weird. I got such outrageous and crazy and cool entries that weren't necessarily things that you could just give a standard price to because they were strange. I'm talking things like pirate bases and ships designed to land on the water and unfold, or Robot Wars contestants as far as I could tell. Thank you, Stubby. But some of these were so cool that firstly I had to find a way of putting them into a video so that you guys can actually have a look at what some of this stuff does. But also I wanted to kind of give a nod towards one in particular that you look at it and you think, how on earth? What on earth? I don't understand. I'm lost completely. And then you try it and like, what, really? This works? And I thought to myself, all right, it works. But he must have destructible blocks off. It must have destructible blocks off. You go and check the world set. No, it doesn't have destructible blocks off. Okay, this is bonkers, but gotta respect the fact that it actually does work. Fair play. So as you can now see in the background, I'm going to be giving this oddball prize to Mozzarella Ice's chain drive vehicle, which is absolutely bonkers, but absolutely cool at the same time. I mean, look at it, it works. How does that not tear itself apart? I don't understand, but fair play. So that's the prizes, that's the end of the competition. I've got to thank everybody for taking part, all of the cool entries I've got. It's been an amazing experience running this. Kind of hard, but at the same time, really, really cool. Thank you for all your feedback on the designs themselves. Thank you for all the creators and the people I spotlighted getting into those channels, answering comments as well. And of course, a big thank you to Keen for sponsoring the grand prizes. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. I'm definitely looking forward to doing another one in the future. And of course, for all those guys that did win prizes, big congratulations, and please check the email addresses you gave me because everybody will have an email in there either with your coupon or with a question as to whether you want Space Engineers or Medieval Engineers, so I can get back to you. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed that video, and I hope you enjoyed the end of the Planets competition. Obviously, if you did enjoy all this, I would really appreciate your support, so please hit that like button, please hit share, please hit subscribe. Really helps me out. And otherwise, I'll catch you next time.